everyone. So this is actually a topic that I have a lot of experience with, and like from both ends of it. Like as a kid, I definitely was the person that did a lot of imitating, and as an adult, I've kind of been the person that people have imitated, especially since being online. And a lot of times, especially more so from like my younger viewers, they're afraid that they're copying me if they buy the same doll as me. Or I really want to talk about like my thoughts and feelings on this, and calling also, and like what we really perceive as like copying and imitating someone versus drawing inspiration from them. So I would never like literally copy people, like dress just like them and try to talk like them, but there were maybe things about other people that I did like strongly imitate, because I had a very like wishy-washy sense of self as a kid. I didn't really like myself. I didn't have a good self-esteem. I didn't think I was interesting being who I was naturally. And I remember in like kindergarten, yes, this story goes way back, there was this girl named Catherine that the teacher loved. Everyone loved her. She was really popular, and she was really smart, and she was really pretty. And when I was in kindergarten, I always like was in trouble for some reason. My teacher didn't really like me, and I remember I had really bad penmanship, so I was always staying in for recess.
That sounds like my story in kindergarten.
I know, I had a really bad kindergarten experience. It was like the only time I didn't really feel like I was good in school. So I was really jealous of this girl, and I really wanted to be her. And I remember one day she came into school with these like drawings of like a cat for some reason, and we were supposed to do something with this like drawing of a cat. And I just remember our teacher fawning over Catherine, talking about how it was such a great idea and smart, and we were all like grouped around her as she like praised Catherine for these like pictures of a cat. And I just remember thinking that if I did something similar, people would like me, and the teacher would like me, and the kids would like me. And so I went home, and with the pure intent of just to be liked in the same way and to get the same praise, I decided to draw a picture of everyone in my class, and my heart wasn't in it. I was just like throwing together these pictures, and I'd like write the kids' names on it messily, and my art skills and penmanship skills were horrible at this age in life.
I remember nothing the duck.
So the next day I went into school, and I was like all excited, like, oh, everyone's gonna like me. And when I went to hand out the pictures, the response was terrible. And I don't remember all of it because, to be honest, I blocked a lot of it out. But I had this one moment of being by the coat hooks. There was this kid named Ethan, and I only remember his name because of the story. And I went to give him the picture, and he looks at it, and he says, "Do I have to keep this?" And he handed it back to me, and my heart broke. And by the end of the day, all of my pictures were like piled up in the trash or discarded around the room, and it broke my heart. And that's when I learned, you know what? You never directly copy someone like that, because it did not work. It did not have
transparent.
Right, and I feel like everyone could see through it, and it made me feel bad and cheap. And that's not to say that as I got older, I didn't like imitate things about other people in other ways, but it was never fulfilling. Like when you think that if you like dress like someone, it's gonna make you be them, or like feel like them, or have the same confidence, or give you qualities of someone that you like and want for yourself. It doesn't work that way. Like, you're not gonna be confident just because you color your hair like your favorite singer. And I think that people can take that too far though, and I see it all the time. If you buy Bratz dolls and you start collecting Bratz dolls, and say there's like a really popular YouTuber who's like known for Bratz dolls, and everyone goes after them like, oh my gosh, you have Bratz dolls too, and you named one of your dolls the same thing as the other person. It's like really ridiculous, because we're always going to have like overlapping qualities and dolls and interests as other people. And I hate the witch hunts that people go on the internet. People actually like having videos made about them because they copied someone's aesthetic. And it's like, even if someone is copying, you should never be hateful, and you should never like call them out as a content creator or an internet like person. That you have a responsibility to all the people that watch you, and like to send out that message of like, oh, so-and-so's copying me. I personally don't believe in that, and I think that's worse than the person who's actually doing the copying. So we've definitely had experiences 100% with people like copying stuff that we've done on 1,000 Splendid Dolls. It's mostly been like our Flickr content. I don't really watch a lot of doll videos, so I couldn't tell you. but I don't think so. Like, my YouTube channel's small, but I've seen it on Flickr, and I think it's because Flickr's anonymous.
I had people actually go as far as to, like, basically take our screen name, change a couple letters, and then steal the names off our album covers.
And then lift my formatting on Flickr. So I had, like, a person a while ago, like about 2 years ago.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, I hadn't even been on YouTube long. They actually, like, I don't know if they were trying to pretend to be me, but I had someone tell me, like, hey, I thought this was your account, but it's not. And when I politely messaged them, it's like, hey, like, it's cool that you want to have a guy, but, you know, I tried to come up with a really original name to not confuse people, because my old handle on Flickr was Disney Doll Girl, and there's, like, Disney Doll or Disney Girl everyone on Flickr. So I came up with, like, a unique name, and it meant something to me. It was weird that, like, someone clearly just, like, lifted it, and I don't know if they were trying to pass off as me, and then they ignored my message, and it was like, well, what can you really do? So that was definitely copying, and I think it's wrong when you steal someone else's work. Even if you're just, like, copying someone's description formatting, they still took time to, like, come up with that. And I think that the main difference between being an imitator and being someone who draws inspiration is that if you think that having the same dolls as someone, naming them the same things or dressing them the same way, if, like, your intention behind that is, like, I'm gonna feel like Shelly if I have the same dolls as her, and you think, like, you don't like yourself enough to just do your own thing, and you're imitating other people in the hopes of liking yourself, I think that that's where it becomes copying. I don't think there's anything wrong if you like a doll I have and you like the way a doll is dressed, or you like her name and, like, you put that all together. I've had lots of people be like, hey, is that okay? Like, I like what your Jazzy doll's wearing. I don't care. I mean, it's not like these dolls are one of a kind. And, like, people who want to make stands like mine or want to make earrings like mine, I share it for a reason. Like, if you want to, like, literally,
yeah, give people ideas.
You know, literally rip off a design or something. Like, I'm not offended by that. I think it's...
No, and I mean, we've taken inspiration from, like, other people's collections. Like,
definitely.
We noticed we got into Disney store dolls because of someone else's Rapunzel doll we just thought was really beautiful.
Yeah, they had her in a little tower they made, and it was so cute.
It was beautiful.
And I hadn't really paid attention to the newer generation of Disney store dolls until then.
Or someone else had the Scarus, Laguna, and Cleo set, and we thought that was really adorable.
Or a long time ago, back when I used to watch, like, DollTube on YouTube. I don't really watch a lot of doll videos anymore, but when I did, before I was really heavily into collecting, someone had a My AG number 25, and her name was Claire, and every time I see that doll, I think Claire. And so I think if I got that doll, I'd be really tempted to name her that, just because, like,
that's the name that pops in your mind.
Who she was to me when I first saw the doll and decided I liked her. And I don't think that that's harmless. I think it's when, it would bother me if someone was, like, taking my story that wasn't really their story and trying to, like, sell it as theirs. Like, that will bother me. If you're confident in yourself, you shouldn't feel upset when people like similar things. Like, I wouldn't be offended if someone liked my hair color and cut and, like, decided to go get it. Because it's not like I came up with this idea all on my own.
It's like, if you think about it, when you take inspiration, it comes from a variety of different places. It's hard to tell where the individual inspirations came from. Like, the original idea Shelly had for having a website or a channel about her dolls actually came from Cotty's dolls, because we liked that it was informational but personal, like, about the joy of the hobby as well.
That website's still around, and I found that when I was 12.
Yeah, and that's probably the biggest source of inspiration. But if you look at how we set up, like, our information on Flickr, we took a lot of that ideas. We liked a lot of what Marcy Melillo did in the Ultimate Doll, the Ultimate Barbie book. We liked a lot of that. So you can see, like, where we got inspiration, but then we don't just collect Barbie, we collect a variety of different things because we collect what we like.
Right. And I think that, you know, no one's 100% unique, and if you feel like you have to be a special snowflake all the time, that's just as bad as not feeling confident in yourself and copying everyone. Being hostile because someone else likes the same things as you is really silly, and, like, that was never me. I'm pretty chill. It's all about balance, and it's okay if you like someone's dolls and you want to have the same ones as them, but just know, like, if you buy, say, a Kid Katie, it's not going to feel the same to you as it did for Colleen, because there's a whole story behind it, and it could mean just as much to you, but it won't ever mean the same thing. And I think that's my point. Like, we all have reasons for getting into things, and especially in the world of social media, it's easy to like be influenced by other people and to like see things that other people have or see things that other people do and be inspired by that. And that's why I'm here. Like, if I didn't want people to take something away from my videos or my photos, I wouldn't post them. I'd keep my collection private if I had to be the only person like me. But obviously, it's not that I want people to be like me. I want people to take from my videos and from my photos, like, do you and you'll be happy, and don't let what other people like have to say influence you negatively. You are enough being you, and you might think that you don't have like an interesting personality, or you might think that you don't have your own memories with dolls, or you might like look at someone else's collection and feel like, oh, they're way more passionate about it, they're way more interested, they know more. But that's not true. I think that the saying that I've said this before on my channel that I really resonate with is that the grass is greenest where you water it, and that it's always going to look better when you look at other people's lives if you're not taking the time to work on your own. If you look inward and you work on yourself and you work on tending to your own interests and fostering your own interests and your own hobbies and working on fixing those things in your personality that you don't like, you will be happy. Because when I stopped comparing myself to everyone and stopped imitating everyone, and that was something I struggled with until probably the age of like 21 or 22. Like, I hardcore really didn't like myself, and I don't have like a stunning self-love or self-esteem these days either, but like I definitely have learned, like, I know who I am and I'm okay with that. I don't really care what other people have to say about it. Like, I'm confident enough to like share my collection online and to like be on camera looking like a ragamuffin. Like, I don't care if you want to point out that I look like a bum, because I know I do. And I'm not offended if someone says your earrings are gaudy, because you know what? Heck yeah, they're gaudy. Like, you know, yes, I talk a lot about my dolls. Like, I mean, I know me, I'm happy being me, and I'm happy with my collection the way it is, and you will be too if you just work on it. So the moral of the story is, don't imitate people and copy people thinking that it's going to somehow make you feel the way that you want to feel or make you more like that person. And also, when people copy you, remember that they're just insecure and that's why they're doing it. And I would never be mean to someone who is copying me, because I have been that person before, and I know that it's not coming from a malicious place. It's coming from a lost place. It's coming sometimes from a place of self-hatred. And that when you, especially if you send like your minions over to like attack them, that you're doing more harm than good, and you're probably like, they look up to you, they like things about you. So if you turn on them like that and send other people after them, it's gonna hurt so bad. So really, it is the greatest form of like flattery, and it can be annoying sometimes, like if people are stealing your work or like taking personal stories and pretending that they're their own. You just have to let that stuff go and focus on yourself, and you will find who you are and what you like. And if you just keep being true to yourself, it becomes easy. At the end of the day, it's better to be a first-rate version of yourself than a second-rate version of someone else. That is a quote I've heard before, and
I like it.
That really resonated with me too, and I would struggle with that. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.